From nothing to billions, the 10 richest singers who changed the world. What does it take to go from having nothing to being worth over $1 billion? These 10 singers didn't just make music, they built empires. This is their story. Number 1, Jay-Z net worth, $2.8 billion. Sean Corey Carter was born on December 4, 1969 in Brooklyn, New York. He was raised in Marcy Houses, a public housing project in the Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood, by his mother after his father abandoned the family. Born into poverty, Jay-Z was dealing drugs at just 13 years old and seemed destined for a life in and out of prison. But music was always calling. Inspired by legends like Grandmaster Flash and the Sugar Hill Gang, he began battle rapping on Brooklyn streets and his reputation grew. After failing to get signed to any major label, he and two friends founded their own record label, Rockefeller Records, and released his debut album Reasonable Doubt in 1996. That one move, owning his own label, set the blueprint for everything that followed. He went on to create his own clothing line and entertainment company, and in June 2019, Forbes named him the first billionaire rap artist. Today, his empire spans music, spirits, streaming, sports, and real estate, with a fortune estimated at around $2.8 billion. Number 2, Rihanna, net worth $1.4 billion. Robin Rihanna Fenty was born on February 20, 1988 in St. Michael, Barbados. She grew up in a modest home in Bridgetown, sharing a room with her siblings. Her father struggled with addiction, which created constant tension at home. She sold clothes with her father on the roadside as a young girl, and music became her way out. In 2003, a chance meeting with music producer Evan Rogers changed everything. Rogers was blown away by her voice, and her demo tapes eventually reached Jay-Z at just 16 years old. She flew to New York and auditioned, and Jay-Z signed her on the spot. Her debut single Pon de Replay became a global hit in 2005. But what truly transformed her into a billionaire wasn't music. In 2021, Forbes declared Rihanna a billionaire, with approximately $1.4 billion coming from her 50% stake in Fenty Beauty. She became the first female musician to achieve billionaire status and was declared a national hero of Barbados in 2021. Number 3, Taylor Swift, net worth $1.3 billion. Taylor Swift's fascination with songwriting began in childhood, and at age 11 she traveled to Nashville with her mother to visit record labels and submit demo tapes, only to be rejected by all of them. Rather than give up, she focused harder. To help her break into the country music scene, her father transferred jobs and the whole family relocated to Tennessee when she was 14. That level of sacrifice shaped her drive. Taylor Swift became the first musician to reach billionaire status solely through songwriting and performance, with more than $500 million of her fortune coming from music royalties and touring alone. She also re-recorded her first 6 albums to reclaim ownership of her music catalog, a bold business move that added hundreds of millions more to her worth. Number 4, Paul McCartney, net worth $1.3 billion. Paul McCartney grew up in Liverpool, England in a working-class family. His mother died of cancer when he was just 14, a loss that shaped him deeply. He channeled that grief into music, and at 15 he met a teenager named John Lennon at a church fair, and that meeting changed music history forever. The Beatles went on to become the best-selling band of all time. McCartney became the first UK musician to reach billionaire status, a leap helped by decades of touring, his back catalog's rising value, and renewed global attention to his work. Decades after the Beatles broke up, he is still creating, still touring, and still one of the wealthiest artists who ever lived. Number 5, Bruce Springsteen, net worth $1.1 billion. Bruce Springsteen grew up in Freehold, New Jersey, in a household that struggled financially. His father cycled through working-class jobs, and Bruce found his escape in rock and roll after watching Elvis Presley on TV. He taught himself guitar and spent years playing small bars before finally breaking through. Bruce has spent over 6 decades performing, releasing 21 studio albums, and selling over 140 million albums globally. He joined the Billionaire Club after selling his masters and publishing rights to Sony Music in a deal worth around $500 million in 2021. The boy from New Jersey who once struggled to pay rent became a billionaire by never letting go of his music. Number 6, Bono, net worth $1.3 billion. U2 frontman Bono built his fortune through massive global success with the band, but also through sharp investment decisions, most notably investing in Facebook early on. Born Paul Hewson in Dublin, Ireland, Bono lost his mother to a brain aneurysm when he was just 14 years old, a tragedy that pushed him deeper into music as a form of survival. U2 became one of the most successful rock bands in history, and Bono turned that platform into a global business and humanitarian empire. Number 7. Madonna, net worth $850 million. Madonna Louise Sickon was born in Bay City, Michigan. She lost her mother to breast cancer at just 6 years old. She grew up in a strict Catholic household and moved to New York City in 1978 with just $35 in her pocket. She worked at Dunkin' Donuts and modeled to survive while chasing her music dream. When she broke through in the 1980s, she didn't just sing, she reinvented herself over and over again, decade after decade. Her wealth has been built through decades of touring, her music catalog, and smart investment decisions across entertainment and real estate. She remains one of the best-selling musical artists in history. Number 8. Celine Dion, net worth $800 million. Celine Dion was born the youngest of 14 children in a small town in Quebec, Canada. Her family was poor, and her parents ran a small club where she first began singing. She recorded her first song at 12 and sent it to a manager who became her career-long mentor. She originally found success in Canada with French-language albums before learning English and signing with Epic Records in the US. Her voice carried her from that tiny Quebec town to Las Vegas residencies that earned hundreds of millions of dollars. She is proof that raw talent, discipline, and longevity can build generational wealth. Number 9. Dolly Parton, net worth $650 million. Dolly Parton was raised in a one-room cabin in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, the fourth of 12 children. Her family was so poor her father paid the doctor who delivered her with a bag of cornmeal. She picked up a guitar as a young child and never stopped. The day she graduated high school, she moved to Nashville alone at 18. Today, Dolly has composed more than 3,000 songs, built an acting career, owns a film and TV production company, and runs her own theme park, Dollywood. She turned poverty into a legacy. Number 10. Beyoncé, net worth $500 million plus. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born in Houston, Texas. She began performing in local singing and dancing competitions as a child, and her father quit his job to manage her career full-time. She faced rejection early. Her first group was dropped from a record label before they ever released an album. But she kept going. She became the lead singer of Destiny's Child, one of the best-selling girl groups of all time, before launching a solo career that redefined what a pop star could be. Beyond music, she has launched her own fashion and fragrance lines, and her Renaissance tour broke records globally, pushing her wealth firmly into the half-billion range and still climbing. 10 different lives, 10 different kinds of pain, poverty, loss, rejection, addiction at home, but every single one of them had one thing in common: they refused to let where they started define where they finished. The music opened the door, but the business kept them rich. That is the real lesson here.